Coordinates 30150.6.5.
Stand by to copy launch point. Three, two, one, mark.
Welcome back to Combat Tech. I'm Steven, and what if I told you there's a powerful invisible web of technology that's arguably the most important system on Earth, yet only a handful of people really know how it works? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the United States Nuclear Command, Control, and Communication System, often abbreviated NC3. It's a crucial network that links the President of the United States directly to America's entire nuclear arsenal, orchestrating everything from top-secret satellite data to launch signals for submarines buried beneath the ocean's surface. Now, get ready to discover how the U.S. keeps watch over nuclear threats, ensures communication lines never fail, and constantly updates decades-old hardware in a frantic race against time. Stay with us, because at the end of this video, we'll reveal a surprising, little-known twist about NC3 that might change how you think about nuclear security altogether. For decades, the term NC3, Nuclear Command, Control, and Communications, didn't often make headlines. But behind the scenes, it has always been the bedrock of nuclear deterrence policy. Imagine it as a high-stakes relay race, where the baton is the authority to use nuclear weapons. In an ideal scenario, each leg of this relay must function seamlessly, passing commands from the President, the Secretary of Defense, and top military commanders all the way down to field units. Any breakdown in communication can spell disaster, or at least total confusion, when the stakes are unimaginably high. Did you know? Some parts of the NC3 infrastructure still rely on decades-old technology, like systems that date back to the Cold War, and yet they're so secure that attempts to replace them must be weighed against the risk of introducing new vulnerabilities. That's right, sometimes old isn't a bad thing. A system that uses older technology can be harder for potential adversaries to hack or disrupt, precisely because it's not always connected to modern networks. But this also means the Pentagon has an enormous job ahead in modernizing the system while preserving its robust safeguards. According to Congressional Research Service, CRS reports, including the latest updates from Nuclear Command, Control, and Communications, NC3, the Department of Defense and industry partners are working overtime to ensure this network is both resilient against cyber threats and capable of relaying instantaneous, accurate launch information under any circumstance. This means everything from robust satellite constellations, ground-based radar installations, airborne command centers, and undersea communication cables must coordinate flawlessly. But don't think all of this is just for show. In a hypothetical scenario where a nuclear response is necessary, the very survival of entire nations might hinge on whether a single radio link or satellite feed is operational. Coming up, we'll reveal a stunning piece of NC3 technology that might actually shock you with how simple and how brilliant it really is. So how exactly is NC3 organized? Let's break it down into three main pillars. Command. This is the strategic leadership element involving the President and the top defense officials. It includes the National Command Authority responsible for nuclear decisions. Control. This element ensures that once a decision is made, the correct processes and protocols guide that order. It's about guaranteeing the right weapons are activated by the right people, and that they're always under proper authorization. Communications. This is the technological backbone. Everything from specialized military satellites, like the AEHF constellation, to ground-based secure phone lines, to the iconic E-4B Nightwatch aircraft that can serve as flying war rooms. All three pillars work in a kind of symphony, but the music only plays if every note is pitch perfect. A single gap in communications could break the chain of command in a crisis. Now, you might be thinking, wait, what if an adversary tries to jam or hack these communication lines? Enter modernization efforts. Recent updates emphasize advanced encryption, robust cybersecurity protocols, and next-generation satellite links that can navigate through or around attempts at jamming. The 2018 Nuclear Posture Review and subsequent policy directions underscore the need to upgrade aged systems with cutting-edge technology, ensuring that NC3 remains agile in an era of rapid technological change. Imagine having to keep your grandparents' old flip phone 100% secure, but it can also launch nuclear missiles. No pressure. Well, that's exactly the kind of pressure the NC-3 modernization teams deal with every day. The genesis of NC-3 traces back to the dawn of the Cold War, when the United States built its nuclear triad, land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, and strategic bombers. It needed a surefire way to coordinate them. Over time, sophisticated satellites and ballistic missile early warning radars were added, culminating in what we now call NC-3. Here's a surprising twist most people don't know. Not all components of NC-3 were designed for nuclear command and control in the first place. Some were adapted from broader military communication networks, transformed over decades to meet stringent security needs. This means the system is somewhat patchwork, but each patch is carefully sewn in to maintain a tight security quilt. Even with modernization, there's often friction between maintaining older, proven hardware and integrating new technologies. If it works, don't break it, is a mantra you'll hear often in NC-3 circles. Yet new digital systems promise faster data transfer, real-time analytics, and better resilience. But guess what? A little-known feature in the NC-3 architecture has been quietly updated recently, and it just might be one of the most critical steps forward in nuclear deterrence. We'll reveal what that feature is in just a moment. So stick around. Let's dive deeper into what's being updated right now. According to the latest Congressional Research Service coverage, the Pentagon has several modernization programs for NC-3 that stretch into the 2030s and beyond. Advanced early warning satellites. The U.S. continues to invest in satellites designed to detect launches of ballistic missiles worldwide. These satellites use infrared sensors to spot the heat signature of a missile right after it blasts off. The new next-generation overhead persistent infrared, next-gen OPIR, satellites promise faster, more accurate missile detection, even if an adversary tries to blind or jam them. Resilient communications architecture. The plan involves upgrading or replacing certain older data links, including those reliant on radio frequency bands that adversaries might jam. Secure, encrypted transmissions that can hop frequencies or use advanced waveforms are in development. Revamped airborne platforms. Aircraft like the E-4B Nightwatch and E-6B Mercury are receiving continuous modifications to ensure they can coordinate a nuclear response from the skies, even if ground-based command centers are compromised. While some details remain classified, we know they're looking at new communication suites and improved onboard electronics. Cybersecurity overhaul. The entire NC-3 system is under scrutiny to ensure it's safe from cyber intrusions. Older code is being replaced with more secure programming, and new protocols are tested regularly to prevent malicious infiltration. One of the most recent developments in the NC-3 modernization drive involves the U.S. Navy's Take Charge and Move Out TACAMO mission. In late 2024, Northrop Grumman was selected as the prime contractor to deliver new NC-3 aircraft, the upcoming E-130J, to replace the Navy's aging E-6B Mercury fleet for the TACAMO role. This is a significant milestone because TACAMO aircraft are critical airborne command posts designed to maintain secure and enduring communication links with submerged submarines and other strategic forces. Northrop Grumman's E-130J TACAMO will bring modernized communication systems, improved reliability, and enhanced survivability against emerging threats, while ensuring the continuous failsafe connectivity that defines NC-3. And here's another update that's particularly interesting. The Department of Defense is exploring how artificial intelligence could bolster threat detection and decision-making speed without compromising the crucial human oversight that prevents catastrophic mistakes. Imagine AI-assisted early warning systems that can help filter out false alarms, like the time in the 1970s when a computer glitch in NORAD's early warning system briefly indicated a massive Soviet missile launch. Thankfully, that was identified as a false alarm. Advanced systems may help catch those glitches even faster. Quiz time. Do you think AI should be allowed to make decisions in nuclear command and control? Share your thoughts in the comments. It's definitely a hotly debated question, so be sure to weigh in. We read and respond to many of your comments. By the way, if you're finding this exploration into the secretive world of NC-3 fascinating, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more insights on cutting-edge military tech. We've got plenty more deep dives planned, everything from stealth aircraft to next-gen drones, so stay tuned. Remember that mysterious feature we teased earlier? It's time for the big reveal. One crucial element that's been quietly receiving major upgrades is the communication link used by ballistic missile submarines, specifically extremely low frequency ELF. and very low frequency VLF broadcasts. These frequencies can penetrate seawater, albeit at shallow depths, allowing submerged submarines, often considered the most survivable leg of the nuclear triad, to stay in contact with National Command Authority. It might sound old school, like a radio from another era, but that's exactly why it's so valuable. It's incredibly difficult for adversaries to intercept or jam these signals, especially since they're not reliant on the same kind of infrastructure as satellites or ground-based lines. Recent improvements have focused on making these transmissions more robust, less vulnerable to noise, and integrated with digital encryption methods. This helps ensure that if everything else is compromised, satellites knocked out, or ground stations destroyed, submarines can still receive orders to either hold or launch. It's an ingenious blend of old and new technology, quietly humming away beneath the waves, a lifeline for strategic deterrence that often goes unnoticed in discussions about flashy new bombers or ballistic missiles. Modern NC-3 isn't just about relaying messages, it's about resilience. Resilience in the face of cyber attacks. Systems must be tested for vulnerabilities constantly. Electronic warfare, jamming, and spoofing attempts from adversaries seeking to disrupt signals. Kinetic strikes. Adversaries might try to target key satellites, command centers, or communication lines. The US response? Layered defenses, multiple satellites, multiple communication channels, plus hardened ground facilities. This approach ensures that no single failure can take down the entire system. It's a bit like backing up your data 5 different ways, but with the highest stakes imaginable. And keep an eye on newer domains too. Space is becoming more contested. Countries are developing anti-satellite weapons. That's why the latest modernization pushes also focus on the ability to reroute or re-establish communications if satellites are compromised, sometimes by switching to high-flying aircraft or even drone-based relays. Still, there's always a chance that an entirely new threat emerges, one we haven't even considered, which begs the question, could a new technology, like quantum computing, disrupt everything we thought we knew about secure communications? We'll dive deeper into that in a future video, so make sure you're subscribed. We've talked about E-4Bs, satellites, submarines, and cyber threats, plus the upcoming E-130J TACAMO that will push these capabilities even further. But there's one aspect of NC-3 we haven't fully explored. What if the president's decision-making time is cut to mere minutes by a surprise attack? How the chain of command reacts, and how these weapons might be authorized, remains one of the most closely guarded secrets in the defense world. If you want to uncover more about the dead hand scenarios and the real-time decision protocols that shape nuclear policies, stay tuned. We'll be releasing an in-depth special on that very soon. Before we wrap up, let's return to that promise of an unexpected twist. Here it is. Despite being the best-funded military in the world, the US NC-3 system is essentially a technological Frankenstein. Some parts are brand new, others are from the mid-20th century, all stitched together to create a truly unique hybrid. And the Department of Defense is perfectly fine with that. Why? Because mixing tried and true legacy systems with cutting-edge tech can be the best way to avoid single points of failure. It's a mindset that says, if it isn't broken and it's too critical to risk, maybe keep it just as it is. At the same time, you incorporate new elements strategically, ensuring that no adversary can exploit one unified technological baseline. So there you have it, a web of satellites, airborne command posts, hidden submarines, and old-school radio frequencies that form a chain capable of launching or withholding the most devastating weapons humanity has ever created. It's both fascinating and terrifying, and it's constantly evolving. Thanks to continuing support and legislation informed by sources like the Congressional Research Service, NC-3 modernization remains a top priority to keep these systems secure and reliable well into the future, including the upcoming E-130J TACAMO aircraft that will further solidify the US Navy's airborne command and control capabilities. If you've stuck with us this long, you're clearly intrigued by the world of nuclear strategy. So here's my question to you. What new technology do you think will change warfare next? Quantum computing, autonomous drones, or maybe something nobody's even talking about yet? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the heart of America's nuclear command, control, and communications, hit that like button to let us know. And subscribe to stay in the loop about future videos covering cutting-edge defense systems and the technology shaping our world. This has been your inside look at NC-3, the intricate nuclear nerve center that has safeguarded the nation's most powerful arsenal. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the systems that matter most are the ones we rarely hear about. Until next time, stay curious, and we'll see you soon.